a little bit back in time to Legacy Atlanta Motor Speedway. Tonight, Precision Entertainment Solutions has coverage of SOF Racing. It's Be Open for the NASCAR stock cars with the now NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series cars as they look to battle it out tonight for 90 laps here from Atlanta. I'm Justin Prince. Alongside the booth for tonight is Hayden James. Our producer this evening is DJ Lyon, using cameras provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Tonight we bring something a little bit different to the network. For the first time in a while, SOF Racing is in full bloom on the network. And for drivers to watch along, it should be an interesting night to see who has brought the speed tonight, Hayden, from the rip.
Yeah, Justin, it's a Monday night, it's an SOF night, and it's 2008. Let's be able to see what these drivers can do on the old Atlanta.
Especially since they have 90 laps, of course, green white checkers available if necessary. And remember, open setups, meaning it's run what you've been working on. And this is your first true test for any big team to prove you are up to speed for the week and to see where things shape out. So far this season, plenty of drivers have taken part, in particular in this season. Drivers like Tyler Gary, Nick Holslander, Trent Dinkle, Andrew Navarro, and Dylan Cardenas have been among some of your top drivers in the overall standings. Keep in mind, the season's only a couple weeks old in theory, because guess what? The official rotation ended off when the NASCAR season concluded at the start of November. So basically, this is that sprint, so to speak, before we get to the start of the whole new rotation and the whole off-season schedule before they begin the full season championship.
And maybe that means we'll be a little bit faster. We got 15 days with no real NASCAR. That means 15 extra days to work on some setups.
Great point, to say the very least. We're about to see where these drivers set up themselves tonight. 28 drivers. Your SOF is a 54-10 this evening. That is a very hefty SOF, let's put it that way, with a lot of drivers representing a lot of different groups. It's going to be Brandon Smith that will start on the pole, though, with Adam Garza in an EPI setup alongside him. That setup difference, 25 one-thousandths of a second. Nick Holslander, he's fast tonight. Keep an eye on him alongside Kevin Champagne amongst your top four. Then in row number 3, it's Cale O'Brien who will start in 5th. Jay Mazganov, who's gone through a bit of a team transition this year. He'll start in 6th position, the Russian Rocket. Then it's Colby DeCarlo, who will start in 7th. That is from Legacy. With Daniel Landwehr, who will start in the 8th position. And rounding your top 10 tonight for this one is Matt Press and Kevin Kane, the driver with eNASCAR experience, in 10th.
Yeah, rolling off in 11th, we've got Jordan Dworkix in 12th to his side. We've got Charles Seals. 13th, Daryl Hahn with John Williams. Number 15, Stephen Massey next to Tanner Love. 17th, we've got Raymond Root. 18th, Dylan Cardenas. 19th, rounding out the top 20, we've got Eddie Rose and Eric Royce.
21st position goes the way of Patrick Moose. Then it's Cody Dahl, who will start down in 22nd tonight. Then Joey Doucette will start in 23rd. Chase Swank starts all the way towards the back, 24th position in one of the Precision Speed Solutions cars. Clinton Engel will start 25th, with Russ Boisvert will start in 26th tonight. Then it's Ricky Utting, and John Crawford was set to be the last starter, but missed the starting grid for this evening for this 90-lapper. So what are some of your keys to victory tonight as we get ready to see how these drivers fare on bumpy old surface Atlanta?
Well, it's a hot one out here. The track temp right now is 103, and we haven't ran a lap yet. So making sure we can stay on the track is key number 1.
What's key number 2?
Key number 2 is quick hands. You know, like you said, we've got the bumps. Getting loose is going to be inevitable.
Have you with us tonight on Precision Entertainment Solutions for SOF coverage of Beat Open. Want to see which team is up to speed and hits the irons hot to start things off for this week. Just waiting for the pace car to peel its way off before we get to your start zone. There goes the pace car. The field is ready. We're underway for SOF Racing from Atlanta.
They stayed pretty tacked in through the first lap, not really filing in too much.
Most of the field staying to the bottom, or at least trying to get to the bottom, it seems, early on here. But it's Garza who was able to get the rip from the outside and take the first lap lead. Brandon Smith, who had the qualifying speed, struggling a little bit in his car on the race speed to start. His team Conti machine sliding a bit on the corner exits. Everyone pressurizing car number 9 in sim.
Yeah, he's got a bit of an advantage on the rest of the field. Kind of drove away.
Brandon Garza, I believe, they're absolutely with his start. But already the Polster are dropping to 4th position off the jump. Qualifying speed so critical because track position is helpful. You need to have a good race setup, though, in the counterpoint to that, because if you don't have the speed of the race set, you're going to lose track of time very early on short run.
Yeah, we got 1 lap in qualifying, but the race is 90, so speed for 1 lap doesn't quite correlate.
That's where all the preparation comes in. Some teams take a couple days, some take the full week just to get themselves up to speed. Right now, Kevin Champagne amongst those, working his way smoothly in the top 5. Right now, Champagne, a long-time racer on the platform, has gradually made his way up in terms of iRating, and that's what a lot of these people in the SOF race tonight have done in their careers. A lot of these competitors just a year or two ago were on the 5,000 mark. They've now all gravitated, plenty of them, just to make the cut tonight for this split. You had to be in the 4,100s, and a majority of the field, as said, around the 5,000 to 7,000 range. So the speed and the amount of iRating has definitely fluctuated upward as the year has gone on, especially with a lot of teams.
Yeah, it'll make it interesting to see with that range of iRating by nearly 4,000, what packs will kind of form on racetrack, Justin.
Right now, some of the packs that are forming up include some of these, including Bryan, one of the EPI cars in the field tonight. Caleb Bryan, reference, one of those in the 6,000 range. You can see right now some of the drivers from Legacy are trying that second groove that you can get moving just in front of him if you're able to pitch down a bit on corner exits. So some drivers are willing to move around, but others just try to take the slow roll so they don't burn the tires off long run. And the thing is, Hayden, you have to be so careful on the throttle with this type of car, because it's not like, say, of course, modern Atlanta, where it's full throttle super speedway style racing for the most part. Here, you have to battle with the wheel, you have to battle with the throttle movements, because one wrong hit of the throttle and you can make your tires go toast.
Yeah, I think a lot of people on iRacing really liked the old Atlanta, so I wonder if we'll see those guys kind of towards the front all night, those guys with the experience in the hands.
By the way, some people have gone up plus in the field. As you see, some of their battle boxes pop up here. Eric Royce, Patrick Moose amongst those who have cut ahead. Drivers like Jordan Jurassic have gone the wrong way since the drop of the green flag to the edge of the top 20. A lot of shufflers as you see your biggest movers and shakers so far. And remember, some of the drivers that are amongst those biggest movers and shakers were those who elected not to qualify. Royce and Moose were two of those cars who did not set times in the first place and had to start for the back. Aiden, when it comes to this situation, how difficult is it, in your opinion, to have to come from the back in a race like this? I know some people see that as having fun and showing and flexing the muscles, so to speak, of your setup. What's kind of your thought from the back to the front?
Well, I mean, there's obviously the obvious, right? You've got, what, 28 car field tonight. That's 27 cars in front of you before you get to drive around the lap with the checkered flag in hand. So there's a bit of a gap there, right? But you also have the fact that, okay, you can sit back a little bit, right? You can save a little bit. You can wait for others to make mistakes. That of which Adam Garza has not done yet, still leading by over a second now.
One of the better drivers you'll find when it comes to this type of racing. Tanner Love, it's been for a long time towards that 45,000 iRACING range, has been for years now racing for Legacy eSports. He's kind of become one of the pivotal drivers, so to speak. He's been able to stay well respected, run in the Road to Pro campaigns a lot over the years. He's been competitive in the races he's put up, and there's a reason he's stuck around with Legacy for so long with Boyd Hogan over there.
Yeah, clearly he knows something over there is going right, and it's been going right for him.
Yeah, so far for him, by the way, in this race, -4, but his teammate is just in front, following Han, and probably helping a little bit maybe to show the ropes as you see some of the side-by-side in front. Stephen Massey, who's in a Nitro Racing car tonight, trying to rip the fence. He's one of the few, in fact, the only one so far to try that wall line. How is that line normally here with the old Atlanta, in your opinion? Because we're seeing a couple people start to test out the higher grooves up the rubber.
Yeah, I mean, you get the rubber, you get a little bit extra grip. My personal opinion, I'm always on the bottom. If not, I'm not going too much higher through the lower middle of the track there. Not gutsy enough to run that wall.
Yeah, there's especially an area, and you notice this with the new Atlanta as well. Turn 3 entry, the car just kicks up on you if you push too hard on the throttle. That obviously can happen easily with the bumps in turn 3 especially. Right now this battle pack, a lot of side-by-side forced up here with Massey testing things still. Matt Press is trying to run the middle. Be careful on exit. Little bit of a lift from Massey. Had to there with how the close quarters racing got there, as Ardennes in one of the Ryko schemes, trying to run the bottom and run that white line to stay out of trouble in his sake.
Yeah, we're only 15 laps into a 90-lap race. You end up in a wall or in a grass, in a garage, that can make for a rough night.
It's that potential, especially here. But Massey's getting impatient. It's 3 wide. Massey forced into the bottom. That didn't work at all.
He's been running that wall like you were talking about. I think he was done. I think he wanted that bottom and he flared out to show it.
Yep, he definitely tried something there with a crossover. It didn't work though. Keep in mind, the leaders are starting to separate a little bit out here. The top 2 have checked out. Adam Garza up by 0.6, but look who's slowly closing in. It's DeCarlo. Kobe DeCarlo is right now running about a 0.5 to a 1/10 quicker than your race leader, and is chipping this gap away in another one of those Legacy eSports machines. Right now doing a good job on entry to make the time stick for him.
Yeah, you're starting to see that the format of the groups, whether that's iRating or whether that's skill. You've got the front guys, they're more spread out, a smaller pack. And second there, you've got the 5 car just behind them leading or trying to lead that third group, which is a little bit bigger.
This has so far been a good gain up by the 14 and Sim, 17 on track so far. And part of the setup description you have to think when it comes to this is finding the balance for a race like this. Hold on, there's a bit of a hornet's nest back there. Joey Giuseppe is apologizing on the radio. Something just happened to that gate where we just had Massey and company. They're running near 3 wide. Eric Royce and several others having a little bit of a nervous moment there, it sounds like, as one of the Conti machines having a lot of chitter chatter on the radio.
Yeah, they were getting a little squirmy on the backstretch there. Multiple cars trying to find an open spot.
Can't confirm it was because of a bump down the back straight away from Royce. What turned out to be a triple car tandem. Could have been much worse with some of the drivers taking some squiggles, because keep in mind, you get loose down off of turn 2 here, Hayden. That car can easily hook left, collect somebody in underneath you, and better yet, you can easily slide to the inside. Turn 2 is usually where the trouble is.
Yeah.
Right now, you can see some of the others just trying to pace themselves. This group, an air bad push up the road for Charles Seals. Oh wow, Cardenas now works to the inside. 16 trying to pinch down a little bit more here. Doucette's still up 7-8 spots right now. We're already about halfway or so through the fuel run for some of the drivers here tonight. The fuel run, remember with these cars, can go about 60-ish if you push it. Pit stops could happen anywhere from lap 45 onward for this field. How do you plot and plan things on the strategy? Because here's the key thing. The fall off is about 1 to 1.2 seconds right now over the course of 23 laps.
Yeah, and you got to think of those 2 guys out in front. It's just them. I mean, especially Adam Garza. He's got to be throwing at everything to stay out in front. So how much fuel, how many laps do you think they have compared to, say, that second group that's been such a gaggle and has been able to save and work around with each other?
That's the key thing, getting the opportunity to breathe. So critical if you want to be able to keep the tires cool. If you pressurize so much you can't even get a chance to calm down in a race, well, you're in trouble. Right now, Patrick Moose, he's bringing his Nexus machine on by and able to squeak on forward another spot. Nexus, longtime powerhouse on the platform. Though at some points, they were upwards of 50 members, Nexus was back a few years ago. Again, their focus, be fast, have fun. Some of the resources spread them out across multiple different series tonight in multiple different car classes, not just in terms of the SOF races. There's High Tide in Gen 4 cars, as Raymond Root, he is in only 24 laps in.
Yeah, you got to think maybe something happened to him for him to come down so early.
Yeah, one of the drivers for Precision Speed Solutions, he had been running around the mid-pack prior to his pit stop. It is full service. Would this be an opportunity for a 2-stop race? Would that be something? Or is he trying to go for a massive undercut?
Yeah, it's almost too early to tell.
Yeah, it's right at the edge of the fuel window. It would definitely have to go full defense on the long run if it stays green. This race seeming like it's trending to be a green flag style race right now. By the way, race lead side by side. DeCarlo is going for it up front. He's going to the outside. Garza tries to get the side draft, can't. And it's Legacy that's up to the point.
Yeah, he's been the only ones tonight that has been able to throw something at Adam Garza, and he looked like he did it kind of easily.
And DeCarlo has ran a fair bit in the League C. What surged through. where he's appeared in series like Crown Jewel Racing this past year. He's now been able to be picked up by a big organization and is looking like he is thriving up here, at least for this race to start off the week. Keep in mind, though, this whole gaggle of cars is gaining up on the leaders. They are running just a little bit quicker than the top two. As look out, a slight job for one of the Express eSports machines. Landwehr near contact with John Williams.
Yeah, they were behind the leaders, and when the leaders ran away, they never let them out of their sight.
Yeah, but right now, that gap is getting chewed away by the Russian rocket. Right now, this battle you still see, though, not done yet. Patrick Moose still looking to clear to keep up with Royce. Royce is already pulled away from this by 7 car lengths. Look out, a little bit loose for Moose. Just a little bit too low, and here comes the run from the outside for several drivers.
Yeah, that's that bumps we were talking about. Gets that car loose.
That is sketchy down there. If you slide it out there, it's going to be sketchy on the pit entry too, you'd have to think.
Yeah.
60 to go this time as Jordan Jurassic. He looks to make himself forward. Jurassic's been stuck in place this entire run, surprisingly for him. Hasn't been able to make up ground. Comes from a NASCAR Heat background. Console games obviously back in the swing of things with iRacing's banner with some of the same crew from then. But on iRacing, he's contended for a few championships already. Solid driver in terms of speed that you'll find from the 19 and sim.
Yeah, he's been pretty consistent to that group he's in, working with that car in front of him there to try and catch back up to the leaders as he runs a little high close to the wall.
Just searching for clean air, you'd have to think, just with the way he's migrating around on the lines.
We've got another car down pit road. Chase Swank, another Precision's machine.
That's got to be an undercut pits call if they are both making the call here. This is a team play, trying something different. Chase Swank run towards the back here tonight. We'll lose at least a lap here with the pit cycle. The rest of the field extending as far as they can. Well, outside the estimated window, we normally would see a time with pit service. Looking right now, some of the drivers searching. This is Cody Dahl. One of the EPI cars. He is looking evil loose. Is having a hard time. He might have heated up that right rear tire. How can he cool it down here?
Yeah, that is the question. They've all been a little loose. Wondering if they've been pushing it a little bit harder in the second pack than maybe I thought. Thought they would be using each other, kind of cruising around in my little Monday Atlanta drive, but I think I may have been wrong, Justin.
Now it's the moments here to try and hold on to the cars. We still see this battle. And what's continuously been some of the more intense racing in the field has been the mid-pack today. John Williams, amongst those trying to run high, wide, and handsome. Battling Conti versus EPI. Of course, remember Conti at one point before they became their own setup grouping actually worked under the EPI banner at some point. Massey, he's back up to his top line though. That outside seems to have been finding something now with this pack. You see that right now with Massey in particular, who's stuck with it much of the run. And he and a couple others are now using that line just above the seam. Look at how well he's able to keep the throttle pin for the exit.
Yeah, he came right back up to Williams in that 5.
How difficult is it to make that work throughout the course of a race, especially with how that's going to be difficult to make sure you have that setup where you have a good setup for the bottom and the top in theory?
I mean, yeah, especially on that corner exit, that's where the car likes to get loose. Keeping that throttle pinned is only going to make it want to do it more. But he's consistent.
Yeah, Massey's trying the inside with it. Can he find a way to make it work, though? He's not where he wants to be. And you can tell right now he is just not as comfortable while trying to make this pass attempt. Don't be surprised if he blocks. Yes, he will. Block it off. Going back towards the front, though, if we can. The top two are still trying different lines, but Mozgonov is within about a second of the leaders. Holzlander within 1.4 of the leader. Mozgonov is amongst those trying the same line as DeCarlo is currently. Mozgonov continuing to chip away the gap. On average, he has been a couple 1,000ths quicker, about 21 thousandths per lap compared to the top two at least, the past 5.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, watching those leaders, DeCarlo may have made the pass, but Garza never let him have it. He kept battling, and it slowed him down enough for Mozgonov to get back up there.
Now, some of the others in the air pack. Yeah, 1 Conti car and 2 EPI machines, all in the same group. Here we go for the lead again. It's Garza inside, Carlo outside, and advantage to Carlo. The pressure continues to mount here. This has to be setting up for an opportunity for an undercut, though, you'd have to think, Caden. Because if Garza can keep it this close and then come in, the undercut can be massive here by even 1 lap.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they've been battling so close. Like, you got to think DeCarlo's probably burning up a lot now that he's in front in the clean air, burning those tires. If Garza can come down, might get the lead. Like we said earlier, that mid-pack is still so consistent, so packed in tightly, still battling for anything they can get.
Yeah, look at this right now. Champagne's actually passed on by Holzlander. Gil Bryant following on suit. Remember, EPI usually works together as a pack. We're seeing that right now with them trying to work together to pass the 5 and sit 52 on track. Holzlander's pace has slipped back a couple tenths, hence why we're seeing how quickly this is forming up for both of them to just use the inside line. So Holzlander, his pace just hit the clipping point a little bit earlier than everybody else. Speaking of everybody else, look out, 3 wide. Amongst those trying to make up ground is Jurassic. He still wants to get out of 11th.
Yeah, you're talking about that EPI. That's the nice thing about being in an open race, right? You've got your teammates, you've got your Connie, you've got your precision, you've got your outlier, you've got all those guys that you know you can rely on day to day.
Absolutely here at this point. Right now at this point, we're almost at the halfway point of the race. Big fall off for Smith, by the way, from that pole. He has gone from the top of the field to being 2/10 off the pace last time by. We'll see if he's amongst the drivers that are going to split the run evenly here. Do have some people hitting the button pretty soon for some of their pass attempts. We'll keep an eye on it in the next moments or so as we are at cross flags up at the stripe. It's upcoming time through. Halfway coming up here from Atlanta. Looking right now how things are faring out here, Kevin King. One of the elder statesmen when it comes to the platform. It's been around for a long time. Actually had his own group, the team. Still does, but he works with the Conti side now these days. He is well respected in the community. Also has run some major competitions in RC racing, actually, as the window is open for Smith.
Yeah, taking a look back at the leaders, DeCarlo's actually fallen back into third. He was banging doors going into one with the 8 car. So I wonder if Adam Garza's hit the pedal a little bit more now.
That's just as we looked away, absolutely, as now things have switched away. Garza took that lead just a couple laps ago as the discussion's gone in full swing. Also in this time, Kevin King. Smith, 15.4 in the box, including stop. Kevin King coming in for Conti to try something a little bit different here. But it's Garza, what's gone off, Champagne, and DeCarlo now the top 4 with Brian in 5th. Should see pit road be very active the next couple of seconds or so, but none of the leaders elected to come down. It's an EPI 1-2 on track. In fact, it's 1-2 to 3-5 as we go. We'll see where things shape up. Keep in mind, Raymond Root just now started to get to the point where he can lap himself on the fresher tires here.
Yeah, it'll be definitely interesting for those precision machines that decided to come down early. You've got to think that it's probably about time for these leaders to come in as well. So if those mid-pack cars really were able to save, this is where they can make up some ground.
Good opportunity here. If Raymond Root especially gets caution, let's say, then equalizing strategy, then sees what the car plants, it could be huge. Cody Dahl coming on down for service. First pit stall, so we'll see how quickly he's able to get that service done as they make their way down. Raymond Root, Kevin King, Brent Smith, how things are ordered in terms of how the pit stops have gone so far. By the way, one of your leaders just came in. It's DeCarlo. He's gone for the undercut compared to the top runners, and we know DeCarlo's got the speed on the mid-run.
Yeah, you got to think there's still 41 to go, though. These guys that are coming in now obviously are going to have older tires when it gets to, what, say 15 to go. So how can these guys save to be on equal equipment when it comes time for the win?
That's going to be the key thing. Equalization on the tires could be an important talking point for some of the drivers here. Stephen Massey just entered. Eddie Rose just entered as Garza now has a more than 1 second advantage for the race lead. Some of his fellow teammates are battling. Great effort by Champagne here tonight. Able to jump to second as Mozganov lets him go. So, wait to see where they peel on down. Impressive effort so far for them. Nick Holzlander came down this time by amongst that wave. So less than 40 laps to go. What are your thoughts on what we've seen so far tonight in general here, Hayden, as we've seen an interesting one with a lot of battles, but so far only 2 drivers have led laps.
Yeah, it's been pretty dominant by those 2 guys. What I'm kind of thinking here, it's been green so far. We haven't had any yellows. So what happens here when we're making some pit stops and the drivers realize, hey, it's not gonna go yellow? Are we gonna get some desperation on some colder tires? Are we gonna get some desperation on some older tires? Are we going to make forced errors which bring out that yellow? As Moose slides through his pit box, has to back up a little bit. That is gonna cost him.
That's going to cost him a lot of track position, but especially how competitive these races get. That might be at least a couple seconds. Cal O'Brien just ducked down for the lead group on a very conservative pit call. Adam Garza is going to come down this time by. He just indicated. So the 8, who has now lost 2 tenths to his teammate this past lap, take it at 55. That's that number where a lot of people are expected to take it here. See how he's trying to approach this entry. Take it smooth, don't overcook the entry. Locks up the brakes a little bit, but he gets to the speed limit as he'll come down Champagne next time by.
Yeah, checking back in on those precision machines. Root, he's managed to work his way back up to 14th. Chase, he's still back there in 23rd. So it was an interesting play call.
Want to try, get track position, hope for a chance to attack on equal footing later. Here comes Champagne. That's a little bit quicker than his teammate. That's a lot quicker, but he did get to the speed limit at the cone.
It looked like he might have been going through the grass. I thought he was going to get a hole.
One speeding penalty. Nathaniel Landwehr has hit the speed limit and broken it. He was running decent in the mid-pack and not anymore, so he's had to come down again. Next wave about to come down for their service here. Mozganov not a part of it. Extending as long as he can. This tire difference, see a lot of drivers have to catch up ground. The fall off 2 seconds per lap right now. Root, net, fourth, no third should say on this strategy. Well, to get his lap back pretty soon here is running 33 flats this moment, actually, on 31 lap old tires. Looks like it might be this time. Has gone up running a different line. Look out, Raymond Root sees the heads up. Cody Dahl has passed on by on the fresher tires already.
Yeah, Rude is definitely my my car
hold
concern.
on, what? We have problems. Kevin Champagne has just crashed. Champagne, I think, just had a technical issue. One of the drivers that appeared in the eNASCAR Contender Series straight into the wall. Watch Jordan Jurassic nearly hitting him.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him and unfortunate for those guys that took him a little early because he got off the race surface, so there is no yellow.
Yeah, that would have been what some of the people were looking for. But obviously, Jordan Jurassic, he nearly followed the spinning race car down the track. Look out. And you can see the buckling right there actually might have gotten a piece with the internet difference there. He can confirm he did. The hood pins are loose.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Chance is going up into a damage model. Right now, Kevin King over Brandon Schmidt. This undercut gained him a lot of time, 5 seconds over everybody else. But here's the big kicker. The drivers who just pit from the lead group are running 8 to 9 tenths a lap faster right now. So this is a play to try something different. Kevin King getting a chance to soak up some lead laps here.
Yeah, only the third guy technically in racing to do it. Everybody else just through pit cycle.
5 different drivers have at least gotten to lead something tonight. Right now, should note that Garza just got up to the net advantage over everybody else on the fresh tire cycle. He just passed by Cody Dahl, Nick Holslander, and Stephen Massey in the space of about a lap and a half. Garza is on the move. He has got fresher tires than a majority of the people who's racing. Keep in mind, Mozganov, you know where he ended up, Peyton? 11 seconds back of the leader. He's half a track just about back of some of these cars.
Yeah, that pit cycle, it can be nasty. Garza, it has been his race to win, though, tonight, as he makes another move.
That is Holslander trying to make it, but it's Brian who's able to slip by. Again, just about the same cycle compared to his teammate here. They all try and figure out a way to chip away as quick as they can without cooking the tires up to the Conti boys. Give credit in the cycle here too. Patrick Moose picked up a fair bit of ground and get to the top 10 with this cycle. Charles Seals quietly has also held on to the top 10. We'll see where things stand. Jurassic from his damage has already fallen to 21st. So 27 to go for the field here from Atlanta. What do you think is going through Kevin King's mind? He's right now running 32 threes. The leaders are running 31 threes.
Yeah, it might be one of those times where you see those guys in your rear view and you are ready to get out of their way because they have closed that gap down quickly and counting.
You see right now, Smith, this was part of the play, had to try it, but already Garza zipping by, no issue. Ryan up 1 second distance back to Garza. Look at how good he's been doing right here. Garza 38 laps led here tonight. Still under 1 second of fall off, 10 laps into the run. Just knocking down the speed as we've seen all throughout the past few years from him, to say the very least here. It's been an impressive night, but still a lot can still happen in a lot of these battle packs here as these strategies all equalize out here.
Yeah, he's got one car in front of him, and then it's the leader, and they've only got 25 to go. So as of right now, it's looking like he's played his cards pretty right.
Yep, there it is. New leader, Adam Garza. Garza able to take the point. He looks to take off from here. Some of the others. Look at Stephen Massey. This has been impressive from Massey. He's stuck to his guns up high side all night. He might get a top 5 from it. That's how well his car's gone.
Yeah, he's been really consistent on that top line, making it work every time.
Been able to knock down speed here, tried some different lines. He seems to equalize more than anything else out when he tries those different grooves. As he's up here in 1 and 2, he just digs a lot in the corner. Here comes the runner, Holzlander into the wall. A little bit too high there. Doesn't like the chances to his inside. He's going to reset again as we have a slow car at the bottom. Chase Swake is having an issue. All of a sudden, the 23 is off the pace.
That's actually both precision cars as Root comes back in for a second stop with 22 to go.
Swank sputtered out on pit road. Fortunate for them, and looks like it was a 2-stop because Root just took service. Interesting play, and black flag.
Black flag.
What happened to him? DeCarlo had been up front most of the time. He just towed. What happened to DeCarlo's race? I think he might have been amongst those who picked up speed, and I think he just parked it. Yeah, he went from contending to not anymore. Just going to confirm that situation.
He got a little loose.
Here.
He got a little loose going through 1 and 2 and actually Hail Meloned around the wall. Unfortunately, his was not intentional. Did it again in 3 and 4 and just came down to the pits.
Can't confirm. In an instant off screen, he and his teammates all made contact together on lap 52, turn 4. DeCarlo, as a result, from Hahn's contact, was sent spinning into the grass, turned around, then he towed. He kept some laps going, and then he parked it just now. So that is the context, apparently, and why one of the dominant drivers early on is no longer contending with Adam Garza. Here's a look. I don't know. You'll see this gaggle up here that he was catching at the time. This was while we were trying to sort things out with the pit cycle at the time. And right here, tries to shoot the middle. Hits one teammate, gets hit by another.
Almost a little antsy there, getting a little impatient.
Yeah, and that cost them an opportunity to win this one. The whole legacy group now outside the top 10. Those running. But Garza He runs away, a driver who's represented his college in the eNASCAR College Series. He leads by 1.3, 1.4 seconds. Just needs to stay smooth for another 17 and a half laps. Currently at Triton College for his education. Just continuously building up the buffer as much as he can. There are a couple drivers to keep in mind. Mozgonov is still a couple tenths quicker than everybody else. He just caught up to the top 3-pack, up to Moose and King. So he's still catching up. But where will he equalize? That's the huge thing for the Russian.
Yeah, looking at tonight for Garza, he could complete a Grand Slam here. Starting up front, ending up front, and he's got the fastest lap as of right now.
Chance to have an EPI 1-2-3 for them tonight. An interesting night, to say the very least, for the entire group. They showcased on the track as Mozgonov continues to use the outside trouble. One car up on the wall, it's the 11. Seals, Dawes, also had some contact, so Charles Seals slowing down. Seals trying to make a pass on the 10, and they both slammed high side into one.
We've had multiple on-track scuffles, but never once have we seen any yellow, which is quite impressive. Everything's been able to happen off-track for all the on-track incidents.
I think some of the drivers are starting to get that sense of urgency, though. You have to get spots, have to get the guy rate, have to get the positive. I will say, if you are in the top 13, congratulations, you're all in the positive right now. As long as Matt Press doesn't lose any more spots, that's his key. If you're below 13th right now, you better find a way to gain iRating if you care about your iRating.
Yeah, Garza just continues to drive away from Brian in that second place spot.
Yeah, we'll say this, though, outside of the conversation point. It's still, for some of these drivers, some great opportunities to have some fun battles without the major panic of, oh, I'm going to lose 27 iRating if I don't make this pass. A lot of these drivers right now have stabilized any potential SOF lead. If anything, the biggest loser out of the whole race is Kevin Champagne, and that's because of the screen freeze. Everybody else is running about where you would expect with the iRating, interesting enough tonight. Hold on, something going on with Caleb Bryant. Check that. That was technical. Everybody else still staying stable as we see how they try and close up to the Renko machine. Cardenas has to go high side. Try and defend a little bit there. A little bit too high. He's nearly to the wall.
Yeah, Brian's getting a little loose in that 1 and 2. He opts to run the middle line.
Yep, just did not get the car to stay where it needed to go on the rotation. 2 tenths off last time by. 10 or 11 months, those just snuck on through. We're coming up to 10 laps to go here from Atlanta, by the way. 10 to go in what's been green to, at this point, still green type of race. And at this point, give credit to Patrick Moose in particular. His strategies worked out to perfection to get a top 5 run tonight. 17 spots gained tonight. He has moved through. Dahl, he's up 12 still. Just trying to hold on the Dahl's mechanical and refrigeration machine. As the slightly fresher tires, that's got to be a little bit nerve-wracking. A little bit, at least it is to me, when you have the tire difference and your thought is, we're losing spots at the worst time.
Yeah, Josh Williams, another guy that's been up there all night.
I think you're referring to John Williams.
Yes.
Yeah. No, Josh Williams, you're talking about the NASCAR driver, had his infamous walking out of the car and straight to pit road incident here at one point. But John Williams, he slides up, takes another spot with the Conti machine. 8 laps to work with. You see your biggest moves and shakers as they go. Ricky Udding also has got himself in the positive at iRacing, despite being the 26 car. A lot of decent efforts here as Smith, he's bleeding spots right now, needs to find a way to stop the bleeding on the older tires here. As others like Love go on to battle with Matt Press. And you see just how much Smith is struggling now with the tires have hit the clipping point from the undercut.
Yeah, and once again, just in these last couple laps, Brian has lost almost 5/10 on the leader.
It's been impressive from Garza, but we're still seeing some drivers finding some chances to make groove. Daryl Hahn. He now looks to the inside. One on the 12-inch sim. Dahl stays on to the outside at least. Daryl Hahn at least getting to a starting spot. Tanner Love still keeping the pressure up in one of the closest battles on track. Still looking to find a way to get the inside to work. You can see him trying to diamond his way a little bit for the apex. Right here, it just starts to weave and bobble out on him on exit.
Yeah, cycling back to a point you made earlier, this mid-pack tonight has been the show. The front has been dominant, and the middle has been close, competitive, side-by-side racing almost all night.
It's been an impressive night. Just about at the wrap-up here with less than 5 laps to go. Here comes Love. Looking for 8 still. Will he try and use an arc up? No, he's going to give space. Press. Running an upper second groove. And it almost feels like for Love to get this job done, he almost needs to force Press out of his comfort zone here. But that's easier said than done. You can't go onto the fence and try and make a move here to peel him off the wall.
Yeah, he's been trying to get close to him, and they're both looking a little loose in the rear end department there. The 99 a little bit more than the 17. Nearly clipping the wall there as he shuffles up.
Meanwhile, up in the front, a couple laps to go for Adam Garza. He's just got Joey Doucette to lap, and then it's clean sailing from here. It's been a good night to cook if you're Adam Garza. Fast for the onset. He has been a contender from the green flag and will be looking to add to his win totals. Just needs to keep it clean for 2 more laps. Impressive drive, you have to say, for him here this evening once again. What he's been able to do, but he's coming up to the white flag this time by Hayden.
Yeah, he's gonna get that Grand Slam done.
Fast car, fast effort. And for tonight, Adam Garza, good to say, he conquered SOF 9 from Atlanta. 1 final set of corners.
I don't know about you, Justin, but that seems like a good way to start my week.
It definitely is for Adam Garza. He starts with a win. Adam Garza wins the SOF race for B Open over Mozgonov and Moose. It's a team 1, 2, 4 EPI going to have something to post about tonight. Moose took away the top 3 in the later stages kill. Brian fell off 7 seconds to the leader at the tail end of the race. But it's going to be Garza who gets to celebrate another good drive from one of the better drivers you can find on the platform in open competition. He'll get the chance to burn it on down here after all. It's good for photos. We'll see where he elects to turn it around here. Looks like just taking his time to take a parade lap, at least for now to start, for Adam Garza, right at a smooth 90 miles an hour. Let's take a look at your in-sim official race results, because this is official racing tonight. Garza has gone off Moose, Brian, and Massey all get into the top 5. Kevin King, 6th, Oslander, 7th, Press, Love, John Williams get to the top 10 to the end. Hayden.
Yeah, starting in 11th, Hahn in the 12 car, Cardenas in the 13, Schmidt in the 9, Dahl in the 21, Utting in the 26, 16th Seals, 17th Royce, 18th Boisvert, 19 Rose, and a 20th for Engel.
Then on the next page, some of the drivers who struggled tonight. Joey Doucette in 21st, a lap down with Raymond Root, who tried a 2-stop. Daniel Landwehr finished 23rd, Swank down at 24th. Jurassic, DeCarlo, Champagne, and Crawford were a part of either the DNSs or DNFs, a huge iRating hit if you're John Crawford and Kevin Champagne. What are your final thoughts on tonight here, Hayden, as Garza gets to celebrate clean green to checkered racing tonight?
Yeah, a point that I've made multiple times before tonight, but that Grand Slam, he knew that car was fast, and he trusted the car. He was comfortable in the car, and I think that's really all you need.
And by the way, if my count is right in official numbers, this is Garza's, believe it or not, only 100th oval win in his career stats. He's won now 38 times in 2025 alone in the iRacing season. But now, on that note, it's just about time to say goodbye as the drivers get ready for their next run in less than an hour. We get ready to head off into the sunset. For our producer tonight, DJ Line, use the cameras provided by Whiplash SimCams. For Hayden James here this evening, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. You've been watching tonight's action, a part of a presentation by Precision Entertainment Solutions. We hope you enjoyed SOF coverage here from Atlanta.